Well, hello again, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good beautiful everything, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to Solutions with Aquarius Rising Africa from Morné and myself. Dressed in denim. Tom didn't get the memo yet. He's supposed to dress in denim with us tonight because we're supposed to be speaking Afrikaans on the show tonight, but he decided to look like Tom Cruise tonight. What are we supposed
He's going to go grab some denim now.
Okay, all right.
Very creative, very creative.
What's up, biatches?
Anyway, well,
Yeah.
guys, we're in for some interesting decodes tonight here with our lovely Tom ALTHOUSE, who needs no introduction on this channel. We are decoding The Good Place with, I know I've actually not seen that. Morné, I mean, I've never been a TV watcher or whatever, so I feel a bit blindsided here, but anyway, that's my own palaver. But Morné, sorry. Yeah. Tom is going to be decoding with incredible information that he's realized. So we're going to be handing over to him. You're going to be sharing screen and showing us some images and of this and how it all fits into this whole convoluted, I don't even know what to call it, but anyway, it's crazy. Anyway, hey Tom, how are you? Lovely to
Good.
see you.
Call it stupidity. I mean, these guys want to be clever. That's the whole thing in Hollywood. The Alphabet Boys covering for them, Disney, religious rights organization. They all want to be clever. They think it'll attract the attention of young males and young women and get them popular and make them remembered forever and have a legacy of they were so clever. Look what they did. That's why they do this. And it ends up being so stupid because we're smart enough to follow the trail and figure it out. And now we bring it to you. Yeah.
Exactly. It's amazing. I'm loving, again, I mean, I know, when we've been speaking, especially about the Matrix and specifically the Matrix in the past, we've seen how they've taken your image, your birth date, all of these things, and they've put it into the movie as like to kind of rub it in your face. But again, we're seeing how this has happened in this series. So I don't know, would you want to show us and so we can check it out and just see what's going on there?
Sure, absolutely. Keep in mind, a lot of these entries are going to be mocking the theft of the Matrix. They're going to mock the author for the theft of the Matrix that they feel will score the most points. Think of it as a bunch of guys around a board table, different studios, and they're trying to outdo each other on what they can think of to stick in to stab the author and their family and other targets, but in this case, the author of the Matrix story. So they're going to try to do whatever they can, research. They have research departments. Instead of researching to avoid copyright law, they're researching to abuse copyright law because their ideal goal is to get rid of copyright law. There's motions made to get rid of it in the end to cover their tracks, like pulling Building 7. So what they're going to do is, where the Alphabet Boys records were. So they're going to get rid of the records. They're going to get rid of the trail by getting rid of the copyright law and saying, then they're using this excuse. Everything's been done under the sun. They keep using this phrase. Everything's been done under the sun. So why have copyright law? You have something now, it's been done before. That's to get rid of copyright law so they get away with all the thefts they've done, right? And therefore, it doesn't matter when you hold up this that pisses them off. It will no longer matter that you are the actual author of the original work. Now the director and specialist of the Copyright Office, doesn't matter you predate the project. Copyright law is gone. Let's just assume he got it from someone else. In this case, the original author, they're saying they got it. They're going to say in the end, I got it from my brother, Jack, who happens to be in the bed with Disney, Warner Brothers, and the rest. That's their plan. Just not only bring in-house failed people, bring in-house failed family. He said that his only job as an architect, his firm, is little low-bone Disney projects down at this Disney World in Sheraton, thousands of miles away. So that's where he gets his only bread and butter. That's why he begged my dad for $40,000. What I'm saying is they've gone so far now to buy out your lowest ranking family members and feed them in order to claim the work in-house, claim the work in family. That should blow minds. So he's waiting, having this failed authorship book, to claim the Immortals screenplay, as if I took it from him. That's what's next. Now let's go to the good place. Ha! All right, sharing screen. Sharing screen. Oh, all right, guys. Boy, are they dumb. Okay, so anyway, here we go. First slide, the good place. Anybody wants to look it up? There it is. And what's interesting is this is released in 2020. It's on Netflix now. No wonder, because Netflix has the attorneys from Warner Brothers now working there, the ones that threw the case. So they can do whatever they want through there, including Altered Carbon with Joel Silver, where the premise is the same as the Immortals. The good, rich in the future have immortality, the poor is used as pawns. So let's go play with immortality a little more. Keep in mind, all these studios want to be more clever than the rest. Why did Spielberg put my dad's rank, name, Captain John Anderton, in Minority Report, played by Tom Cruise, lead character, playing my dad's name and rank, and last names are Scottish clan name? Why are they putting that in there where his son Sean is murdered? So he's going to commit pre-crime. They put him away on pre-crime, which they did with me. After Spielberg did that, my son Sean was killed. Remember the name Sean? And they put me away saying that I was going to commit mass murder, just like they did with Tom Cruise in Minority Report. So Spielberg committed pre-crime through his movie about pre-crime, Minority Report. That should sink in. Let it sink in. That's how mind-blowing. Now, Universal Studios was one of the main studios that got my work through Pat Robertson's organization. Ned and Judy Nankovich go out to Universal Studios and out to Disney, getting top positions in story department development. And this man right here, who covered up Kensville Presbyterian Church for Robertson, I'll show you in a bit. David Geyertson is his top PR person, his cleanup man, is the one that made sure Ned and Judy Nankovich, an adjunct professor and a model management person, gets top positions in Disney and Universal's coveted story development departments. Yet they don't put it on their resume. It's just there to get my work to these guys in between 1989 and 1993. Good place. Sean is alive in 2016. He is murdered in 2020. And yes, I feel that deeply. This is put out after he's murdered and after Netflix makes sure they have the attorneys for Warner Brothers. Next slide. How do we know? Because it's right here, copyright. 2016, Universal Television, Universal Studios. Before, it's made before Sean's murdered. It's released after he is. Now, what's interesting about these slides is this is my material. They're guilty of violations. This is my material by putting my stuff in. My mom is mocked in it as Chef Patricia. They never put Patricia in. Chef Patricia is the angry person who shows up, who has to cook for everybody. And that's the joke that these guys had about my mom, that she always had to cook for everybody. So she's being nice, but she's actually an angry, evil person inside. That's the joke they're showing about Patricia, my mom, Chef Patricia. Now let's go to, because a lot of people I keep hearing now, they said they see this show and they thought it meant something, but it wasn't a show, more or less. It was more just to put all this information against the author. So watch what they do. He talks about, this is that character right here is Michael. He's also called the architect. He holds up the silver pen. Now we got the Matrix thing. Michael with a silver pen, architect. Michael, his boss is Sean. My son's name is Sean Michael. So the two characters who we think are good are the worst of evil. They run evil. Keep in mind, Sophia Stewart and the rest are saying, I'm the evil one now. The evil one, Robertson says, the evil one. Well, so they make my son, they make a film before he's murdered, release it when he's murdered, after he's murdered, and call it The Architect, Sean, Michael. Sean is his boss. The worst people in the afterlife, the evil ones, of the evil author, Sean Michael. Now, what is Sean Michael's birthday? What you have is the character starts to speak. Phoenix, Arizona is a hotbed for the occult and also child trafficking. So they have to stick that in, right? Because Robertson reprogrammed Sean, or tried to. October 14th, 1986 is the first entry. Very interesting. Because 1986 is not Sean's birthday. October 14 is spot on his birthday, but the year seems wrong. Let's see what Universal does. That's what I used to tell people when I lied about my age. So what is the actual year? Sean's birth year. Let's put it together. October 14, 1982 is when Sean was born. October 14, 1982. And the person telling it is the architect, matrix with a silver pen, whose name is Michael. And he's talking about Sean. Sean Michael is my son's name. October 14, 1982 is his exact birthday. Now they can't stop there. It's about being clever, right? So what follows? What's the next thing? What they do is a series. In the same scene, you'll see the same scene. Here's where he starts. It says the info's wrong. That's supposed to cover you getting a shot of the exact birthday, October 14, 1982. But they do show exactly October 14, 1982 with the excuse of lied about her age. And then 1982 is the right one. So what's in the same scene? Look at the painting, look at the architect, look how he's dressed, look at the lamp. The same scene, they want to go one step further because they had honeypot wives that knew exactly Sean's favorite game he played with his dad, right? That favorite game was, what's that? First slide. Let's keep going. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? And it keeps going. That was the game Sean and I played. Sean Michael, born in October 14, 1982, October 14, 1982, would play, what's that? What's that? What's that? So they went all out in every way to mock. And people who watch, like you said, Morné, people who watch the show know something's wrong here. They don't seem to be doing a show for the audience. They seem to be doing a show for themselves to stick things in, and it's an inside joke against someone.
Why mock you like that? It's like, it's ridiculous. It's like, what do they want from you? Obviously they want the other scripts that you have. So
I mean, I think it's about humiliation. You know, it's really trying to tell you that, you know, it's obvious that according to them, they've got the one up on you. So we understand how these guys work now. You know, they're going to create despair. They're going to absolutely rub your nerves raw with sandpaper type thing, trying to get you to buckle. So they're going to use every trick in the book.
And look at the date. You're both right. And look at the date. 2016 is when it's created. Yeah. Waiting for after the death of Sean to release in 2020. Why wait so long? They had to kill Sean first. Sean Michael, born in October 14, 1982. Just like Spielberg said, Sean will be killed. Minority Report. Tom Cruise's character. Captain John Anderson, my dad's rank in the Navy. Captain. Birth name John. Anderton switched T for Tom and Anderson to up clever, be more clever than the Matrix guys. So Spielberg's being that way. And Spielberg's committing pre-crime by saying Sean will be murdered and we'll put Tom away in a 302. And that's what they did, didn't they? They put me away on a 302, right? And when they failed, they flew the helicopters over the house. I showed you the footage, right? So that's what's so important. I think maybe just share one more time. Let's just show that one more time, I think. So let's just go to share one more time. And let's see again, what happens when they fail at their 302? What does the chief of police, who's under the FBI, do? They do this, right over the house. They do this. 2 SWAT team helicopters under the direction of the FBI fly over our home for 25 minutes. I won't play 25 minutes, but look at the black helicopter. In perfect unison, 2 black helicopters. Because they say we're worth billions. They've got to put me away. The strategy of Mike Lang at Disney with Robertson is to get the intellectual property.
2 helicopters circling our house.
To get all the notes, all his materials, shut him away, and use his last remaining son as a bargaining chip.
So it's 2 circling, exactly circling.
I'll have visitation with Aiden when I'm put away for the criminally insane, with the bought-off police chief,
all day, all morning,
with a SWAT team, with 302s instituted by my sister and brother, claiming I said I was suicidal, claiming I called him all the time and said it, and I was going to kill somebody. That's what you need to put somebody away on the 302. Here's the second helicopter. For 25 minutes, directly over the house, circling precisely. SWAT teams, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the
Right.
FBI, lifelong FBI operative and congressman, as my sister in the pocketbook reported, was very upset.
Right over top.
And they're showing how upset they are that they didn't get their 302.
Correct.
So they're saying, we can get you anytime you want. We're right over your home with our SWAT team for 25 minutes. That's how they play their chess game, they say. Is there any questions?
No.
Do we hold the copyright? Yeah. Do we proceed matrix? Uh-huh. Is it worth billions? Yes. That brought out all the main players. And then it became popular in the studios to stick anything you could, the more blatant, the more clear, because in 2016, when this is created, the case is thrown. Case is thrown. But now we're coming back on fraud. And now they're scared and they're running tight because we have them all. David Geyertson. David Geyertson is the one that made sure they all got, people got positions at Universal Studio and Disney. So here's his name. He's the top PR person, Pat Robertson, David Geyertson. He's responsible for something very, very important. The cover-up that started all this, the reason they took my work and everything is because of what happened at Kempsville Presbyterian Church. David Geyertson became the minister for a year. He's the PR person. 2,000 member, 1.5 million budget, or $1 million. And they couldn't find a pastor in a year to replace him. Stabilized the congregation after loss of the pastor due to a moral failure. Provided direction for the development of a new strategic plan. Insisted with the transition to a new senior minister. Took a year for his PR person to do it, where they had sessions with each of the 2,000 members, including their kids, to make sure they never talked about what? What were they not supposed to talk about? Because when I was taken on the trip by Dr. Harry Sova with a sex ring and told me all about it, he told me that at Kempsville Presbyterian Church, the pastor walked up, David Anderson. That's why in the film Matrix, they mock me about the sex ring. Thomas A. Anderson. Because David Anderson walked forward to the congregation and confessed he had had sexual relations with Pat Robertson and also with the head of his school. Therefore, Patty was in trouble. Put his top PR person, his top cleanser man, in charge of the congregation. Sessions with all this congregation, even the kids, never to talk about it. Never to talk about it. I went on a retreat where the kids came forward. We were supposed to work with them, develop little scenes they're going to put on. Before we were able to put the scenes on, men in suits bang into the room. I still remember the loud bang. Bang into the camp room, the big conference or gathering room, and said, everybody out now. That's nice to do to kids. What about their scenes we just rehearsed and worked on? I'm not going to do that. Out now. They had to have their sessions. Their sessions to program to make sure they never talk about the pastor talking about Pat Robertson having sex with their pastor. So now we've got him. And you know, at Liberty University, they just changed their roles. The communication department, I was talking about how you can look them up and you'll see Harry Sova there. Doug Smith is there. Dan Corrales is there. All the people involved in that ring are there from Robertson's group. He sent them down to Jerry Falbo's group. And what you find out is very interesting. They now changed it where you look up Harry Sova at Liberty University, can't find him. Not on the communication page, if you look up the communication page. But if you look at him directly, Harry Sova, you'll see him get a full page at Liberty University. He's there, the predator of the sex ring. And if you go back to the communication page, he's not there. So they've moved it so now they covered it up. They covered it up that you can't research him unless you're looking directly for him because his ego says he wants all his credentials shown there, but they don't want him on the main page anymore. And that counters from our interviews before where we said, look up this man or look at the communication department. That's how far they're going. That's how far they're going to cover this all up. Isn't that incredible? They're on the run. They're losing it. But I just got contacted by the major player Pat Robertson used to get my work to Lenny Coco. And she wants me to move to Italy with her.
Wow. I mean, Tom, this is incredible. You know, I think this is kind of 007 stuff.
They want it to be. They put us in our own movie. They said, Tom, we put you in your own movie. And now what's fascinating is this. They have the honeypot wife contact me. They have the Robertson's main girl that was related to Lenny Coco and with Bonaventura, best friends with Bonaventura, to get the work to Warner Brothers, besides getting work to Disney. They're calling and saying, Tom, you're now successful. You're now making it because of us. What we did. We did that for you. So wait, the honeypot wife does a Zoom call with me, dressed to the nine, has the glasses on, takes them off while she's talking and says, you know, everything you are now is because of what happened, what I did, made you. Should be grateful. Should be grateful for what you
How is
did.
that for gaslighting? I mean, really, you know, it's such manipulation. They really are good at that manipulation. And you know, when we look at just how this entire system works, it's all obviously based on manipulation and lies. So they really are good at that. And I think once you get to the stage like yourself where you can actually see through it, it's easier. But when you are in it and you're not aware of it and you're desperate, you know, how many, I mean, just look at how many actors and actresses, or just not necessarily just the celebrities, but people behind the scenes that are desperate to work with the bigwigs.
Yes.
You know, so they literally sell themselves in all sorts of ways so that they can have their name attached to Tom Cruise or whoever the case might be,
Yes.
right?
Or Keanu Reeves.
So,
Yes. And so they believe everybody has their price. And I've had attorneys tell me too, Hollywood attorneys tell me that, you know, any attorney in the world is going to want to have that glitz of the entertainment world. They want to be, they'll do anything the entertainment world says to do in order to have that legacy attached to their name of fame and fortune with Hollywood. So that's what they believe. And that's why they're so pissed at me, is I didn't take the chair. And I'll tell you what, with all the things out there in the truth community and everything else, I haven't seen many that didn't take the chair. That's not me being egotistical. That's me being just an observant. Not many said no. Even Rose McGowan. Rose McGowan made a fortune while she had her hands dirty. And then she comes forward after the fact when it's popular too. That's the way they operate. They wait until it's profitable to come forward. That's when they come forward. Otherwise, they'll keep soaking it up. Soaking it up. The casting couch works both ways.
But you know, also, I think, you know, if we were talking about Rose McGowan, that was quite an interesting, I mean, I have to say, I loved that TV series she was in.
Yeah, sure.
The Witchy Sisters, I can't remember which one it was. Can't remember what it was called. It was actually really cute. Anyway, but I must say, when she started coming forward with her Me Too, and honestly, I'm the first person, I mean, shall I say the last person that's going to disbelieve a woman. I'll rather believe the woman first and then prove her wrong. I've got to be honest with you. But to me, that sounded so contrived because, you know, just this whole Harvey Weinstein, and she was just, you know, all about that all the time. But, you know, when we really look at what's happening, that was really to me, that's just someone who's a gatekeeper type thing, because she'll give you part of the information. Yep. We know that for her to get into that system and win her roles and her awards and what have you, she had to do some serious sacrificing. Whatever that was, I don't know for sure what it was, but there was some serious sacrificing that came along with.
Yeah.
Sorry?
With great perks and bonuses. That's what I was offered when Silva took me on the trip.
Exactly.
Perks and bonuses if I just did the dirty deeds with him.
Yes. It's exactly that, because it was, you know, and that's the thing. So she comes out and speaks about Weinstein raping her. Firstly, I'm sure he wouldn't have been the only one that would have demanded sexual favors for a role or for something. It's a dirty game. You see this all the time in the movies, and more we're hearing about it. You know?
Yeah, you ready for this? Are you ready for what she actually did? Let's unveil Rose McGowan. She is a bad player, and she's a mean player, and and I'll show you how. She's false, and I'll say it to her face. Rose McGowan, you're false, and you're one of the worst in this whole thing that's gone down in Hollywood. Rose McGowan's one of the worst, maybe worse than Harvey Weinstein, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Here's the deal. Let me reveal her. She is the cover-up exactly at the right time to take the spotlight off of Mike Lang of Disney. Mike Lang is Harvey Weinstein's boss. The reason Rose McGowan was brought forward and paid to do it. And notice she got all the top media attention. They want her there. The media moguls want her there because she's doing a job for them. The reason they want Harvey Weinstein revealed exactly when they did, and she waited all that time and was brought to do it, they picked her specifically because she would do the dirty work. They don't want Mike Lang seen. In fact, in the articles, first of all, why is it coming forward at that time? Because I'm testifying in Canada about Mike Lang with Harvey Weinstein, and that Mike Lang is the one that's the real dirty one, and the one that actually was making sure that my honeypot wife left her son on the exact birthday of mine to go back to Mike Lang. So they needed to blow steam off of Mike Lang and not have attention to him. So they had Harvey Weinstein, his underling, under Mike Lang at Miramax Films, take the fall. And they needed Rose McGowan to bring it forward so everybody pay attention to Rose McGowan. Rose McGowan is the worst because also, besides getting all the networks, look at how much attention she got. You wouldn't get that attention if you weren't working for them. Plus, Mike Lang is the one. Right, Mike Lang is the worst one of all. And notice in the Rose McGowan series, they never mention Mike Lang. Rose McGowan, where's Mike Lang? Why are we hearing Harvey Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein? Mike Lang's underling. Why are we hearing that? But not Mike Lang. Why are you not talking about Mike Lang? Why not? Because she's not supposed to. She doesn't get more rewards if she does. Rose McGowan's a fraud and a charlatan. And she's benefiting off it both ways. Like I said, that's how they work it. She benefited by being in the system, and now she's benefiting by being the good person, and she's loving the role. And she's eating it up, and she's getting well rewarded by those that are perpetrators.
I've always said that about her. You know, Tom, quite frankly, since we were, the more I've understood in the past 2 years about this whole Luciferian Hollywood system, it's very obvious. You know, you have these guys, even like Dr. Phil. You know Dr. Phil, right? Mm-hmm. And I know some of the viewers laugh because they currently I say Dr. Phil, and I'm supposed to say Phil. You know, Dr. Phil, you know, with his own show, he would have a lot of traffic victims, satanic ritually abused victims speaking up. But it would never go any further, for example. And there've been countless accusations against him about sending young women to these horrendous places where they're supposedly going to be sorted out, but there's sexual abuse as the punishment, you know.
That's right.
Or the order of the day. So there's a lot of these Hollywood celebrities that are like the gatekeepers for this type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it makes so much sense now. She was a diversion at the time.
She gets rewarded to be the victim. She's playing a role. She's playing the victim. She's not the victim. I am against women being exploited, especially children. But Rose McGowan, how dare you? Because what happens is I have personal knowledge of women going to her thinking that she's the one, the answer. Oh my God, brave Rose McGowan. So these women that have been abused by the system and cut out of the system, you'd be cut out of the system, Rose McGowan. You wouldn't be coming forward, having been successful coming forward, because you would have been shot down. Then you would have come forward being shot down. You would be coming forward off the laurels. And maybe you need more work, and so you're coming forward now because that's your next job that you're cast in. Yeah. But what happens is these women have been coming to her asking for help. That's also Rose McGowan's job, is to draw the actual victims in. Who's going to talk? And so when they take the courage step and talk to her, she tells them things like this: F off. She tells them to F off. Her job is to hurt the victims.
Yeah.
Rose McGowan's not a victim. Rose McGowan is doing another role. She's playing the victim and getting popularity for it. It's false glory. It's false.
They're all actors and actresses at the end of the day, aren't they? I mean, it also brings to mind this whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing. You know, we've been, that's being covered. They're all actors and actresses. You know, the world is against Amber Heard. Oh, she's playing the role of her life. Hello? Johnny Depp is the biggest chameleon actor ever. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't really care. You know, I mean, I just observe what's going on. My point is, these actors and actresses are playing they are playing the roles of their lives, and the general public is really just sucking it up, aren't they? Yeah. You know, and not realizing how much manipulation is going on behind the scenes with these people. You know, it's one thing after the other. There's one psyop after the other.
Let me give you the Johnny Depp matchup. There's a reason Johnny Depp was picked. There's a reason he's in Virginia Beach, because that's where my case was thrown. And the reason they're using that looks like he's using horns. No, I'm just putting on this. whatever, circle it. Look, circle. Oh my God, he's doing. No, these are things people are not doing to give signs. This doesn't mean that, and this doesn't, whatever.
Exactly. And perfecto, it's like perfecto doesn't mean I'm calling on the 666. I'm speaking Italian.
Yeah, my God. People are just getting sick on stupid details and being sheep and cattle for these cronies. And that's why they stick the information in. They're trying to prove they're dumb. And so what happens is Virginia Beach, yeah, Johnny Depp. Why Johnny Depp? Why Johnny Depp in Virginia? Why in Virginia? Well, Johnny Depp was abused as a child. So was I. Robertson makes a big point of that. He says that's why I'm narcissist and bad. So what's Johnny Depp a narcissist and bad? And what was the grandmother's name of Johnny Depp? Violet. What was my grandmother's name? Violet. They had to do a matchup to do even further. It gets worse in real life with crimes that are conditioned by the alphabet boys, putting in place disturbed people, telling them they'll be famous and remembered forever if they go and do these horrendous mass things. What happened to the school in Texas and why was it in Texas? Aiden goes to school in Texas. What was the next thing? Philadelphia shooting. Why a Philadelphia shooting? That's where I was born. What happened in the Prime thing with Expanse, where they have all my information in it? Also with Prime, they have a meteor hit the Earth. Where does the meteor hit the Earth? When they are using meteors as weapons, those that are the belters, right? The people that live in the belt, they're throwing meteors at the Earth. Where does the meteor hit? Get this. The meteor hits 40 kilometers northwest of Philadelphia. Guys, give it up. So a shooting happens after the one in Texas in Philadelphia. What is 40 kilometers northwest of where I grew up?
Wow.
Warrington Township. Now, it depends on how you do it. If you say northern Philadelphia, where I was born, basically, northern Philadelphia, then you end up 37 kilometers northwest. That's a pretty good meteor hit. Wow. They choose for when they're writing it. They hit where I grew up, where the helicopters circled. That's where the meteor comes down. Just happens where the two swatting helicopters circled. How about that? What a coincidence. And keep in mind that Universal Studios also throws in this little tibby bitty. Christopher Nolan is the one that said he failed in his classes in screenwriting school. Professor said, you'll never make it. And he's like, it's a miracle I became the head of the Star Trek flagship series and Universal Studios. Way to go, Christopher Nolan! He names his son Sean. And he also does the whole thing with all my stuff in it, the immortality things, everything else. But that's not all. In the Star Trek series, he says that his main character, Duvall, whatever her name is, the one Vulcan, who's sexy, says that she just went to a baseball game in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. That's where I went to CB West, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. That's what they put into the Matrix, CB West, Central West.
It's just mockery all the time. It's just mockery all the time.
They made billions off this offer. And the strategy by Mike Lang. Thank you, Rose McGowan, for not saying him. Nothing else to see here, just Harvey Weinstein. No, what about his boss? In the articles, they actually say Harvey Weinstein's boss said, they don't say Mike Lang. How can you, what journalism is that? Why don't you say Mike Lang? Harvey Weinstein's boss is Mike Lang. Nope, don't put that in. Rose McGowan's supposed to cover that up, and we're all supposed to cover that. Don't put Mike Lang down. Okay, we'll just put.
Why don't you expose more of him to us? Tell us more about who Mike Lang is then.
Mike Lang is the one that supplied the honeypot wife from Disney in 1993 when my information went in there through James Boyd of Norfolk. James Boyd of Norfolk is the one that supplied it, right? So if James Boyd of Norfolk submitted my work and it goes in to Universal Studios and to Disney, Mike Lang is appointed right when it arrives. So Mike Lang in 1993 is appointed to form Miramax Films to be in charge of the Disney Library. I'm looking for it right now. So he's in charge of the Disney Library. And the Disney Library, where are you? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here we go. Yay! All right, let's look at the timing. Mike Lang is a nobody until 1993. What happened in 1993? Well, here's affidavit of James Boyd. Keep in mind that Tony Rankin, the landlord of the honeypot wife, was Tony Rankin. Tony Rankin wasn't eligible to practice law because he had a suspended license since 1990. So in 1990, he's not eligible to practice law. I'm going fast. Let's slow it down. Tony Rankin, Maui. Wailuku. Not eligible to practice law since 1990. So he's the one supplied to me, who happens to be the landlord of Rebecca Northcutt. I give you Rebecca Northcutt, criminal records, outstanding warrants throughout her entire marriage with me that would be expunged when where marriage is ending. Last thing we do as a family. So Tony Rankin is her landlord, not eligible to practice law. She makes sure I get with him, not telling me that he'd been the landlord, so he can throw the case. He's also classmates with lead attorney Warner Brothers, Linda Burrow. And when do they meet? In Disney World, where Mike Lang and Michael Eisner is. Before the case is filed to be thrown, they meet at Disney World, and he claims he comes back from Disney World on a weekend where he's not eligible to practice law, but he's handling 2 major cases. And he brings back a whole new team from Disney World, a whole new law team, attorneys and everything, gets rid of his partner on this weekend, where he happened to run into Linda Burrow of Warner Brothers, classmate from University of Berkeley Law, at Disney World. And lo and behold, you can imagine Linda howling up her balloons. I don't think she has kids, she's transgender. She has like these balloons and everything, not that she would not have them, but she walks up to Tony Rankin, and says, "Wait, Tony! Linda, small world, Disney World. Yeah, I'm not licensed to practice handling 2 big cases. What are you up to?" "Well, I'm going to be handling your case." "You are?" "Yes, I'm going to be representing Warner Brothers. I haven't even announced it yet. We haven't even filed anything. I'm psychic and also transgender. But here I am in Disney World. And also, not only that, but hey, Michael Eisner wants to see us. Get off that ride." "Well, Michael, what's going on?" "I don't know. Mike Lang," which most Rose Gallant we'll never talk about, "is actually forming a new company, Bearmax Films." "What are we doing?" "I don't know." "Hard copies of the scripts from the 90s we don't own." "Well, what are you going to do?" Well, small world. Small world. "Mike Lang is going to be in charge of strategy for acquisition of intellectual property." Wait, this is too much. That's what the audiences are going to say. They'll never get it. It's too much for them to absorb. Yeah, so stick all Tom's stats in there. Anyway, so what's happening is, hey, Mike Lang is in charge of intellectual property strategy for acquisition of property that they don't own. Here's what he came up with. Miramax Films. It'll have the Disney library. We'll even call it our library ahead of time. And we'll put it in Vanity Fair. Look at the Vanity Fair article when Mike Lang runs for the hills when Tom comes forward. Harvey Weinstein replaces him. But there's Vanity Fair article which also announces there's a Disney library in New Jersey warehouse. A New Jersey warehouse? That sounds shady. Forget it. I'm on vacation. Small world. So anyway, here's a new staff for you. We'll remodel your boardroom, and also you'll remodel your kitchen at your offices. And here is Sam Snyder. Hi, I'm Sam Snyder. Yeah, you're going to go back and be his attorney now. Great. What about my actual attorney, Drewer? Well, just get rid of her. You're into the big cases now, buddy, and you're going to handle Tom Oldhouse's case. All right. Hey, it just happens I'm the landlord of the lady he's going to be married to. Perfect. And then what happens is after the case is thrown, she's got outstanding warrants. He doesn't know. And she's been a prostitute. Yeah, she's a prostitute. And she's been in jail for it. No problem. Just tell him she's a nun. And she actually uses the phrase she's a nun. And so then the meeting occurs where he'll handle it, but he's not eligible to practice law. The case is thrown. They put it in their media that he lost his case. Nothing else to see here. But there is. Rankin said that the submitting attorney, James Boyd, never had anything. Tom, I called him. I got the emails. Goes to the documentary team. Tom, I talked to James Boyd of Norfolk. He doesn't have anything. So your case isn't a case anymore after 3 years of us throwing it. And so it's over anyway. And also, he doesn't even remember anything, no records whatsoever. So I contact James Boyd, and he sends an affidavit. He had everything. Diane Bell's Care of Elizabeth. He has the letters. He has the script. He has the music, which they're very afraid of. And he notarized it. Uh-oh, Tony Rankin doesn't line up. And also he had the submission letter from, that's when Mike Lang's instituted. June 25th, 1993. Tension Story Department, Diane Bellis, Care of Elizabeth, Bonaventura's friend. And also the full music, the tracking number and receipt, right to 4000 Warner Brothers Lane, 1993. When Mike Lang is put in position. What's the last act Mike Lang does? The Truman Show. He takes on my birthday, July 2nd. The ex-con, prostitute, still active, Rebecca Northcutt, takes her to his mistress pad. With an email they struck from our devices. Went so far to accost a lady who was sharing our copyright to beat a strategy at Gatwick Airport, taking her disc away because she had copies of the Mike Lang file. of emails, which when he was supposed to leave, Becca's supposed to leave, Aiden and I. On my birthday, July 2nd, he sends the emails. Becca, move in with me for 60 days. Mike Lang, see it, Zion. On my birthday, Becca, move in with me for 60 days. This is so great. Because he also showed the bed with a shaving kit on it, the unfurnished mistress pad. Keep in mind, Joe Silver did The Loft with a lady brought out to direct it from University of Southern California, same place Sophia Stewart was drawn out, D Players, University of Southern California, to be the first claimant. They always use the same place so they can get the loyalty. So Mike Lang on my birthday gives this message and shows a big L out in front of Lang's on Howard. Big L hanging out. Look it up. Lang's on Howard next to Chase Bank in Spokane, Washington, playground of Hollywood. Listen to all this tied together. Listen to this, right? And that's what happens. And they struck it from our devices, had an external storage, Mike. And so I ask a contact from Disney, and it's on tape for the documentary team. Why would Mike Lang do this? Why would he take the honeypot wife to bed? And the answer is given on the tape. His ego. He thought that by sleeping with the author's wife, he'd prove he's better than the author. Well, that's a caveman mentality. Here's how a modern man who actually has a heart and compassion like other great men I'm around right now, and people working together to free the children think. We don't think about the club and we got your wife. No, I wouldn't touch your wife, not interested. I know beautiful people that are in my life that are amazing women. But I'll give you this one. Here's how we think. We're grateful you took the ex-con to bed. Way to go, because you just led a trail right back to Disney, to Michael Eisner, to Robertson, and we're following the trail because we're smart enough to write the Matrix. We're smart enough to follow the trail, and you just gave it to us because of what? Your ego. And what's the cardinal rule in the cabal? You never reveal the Fight Club. Don't ever reveal the Fight Club. And what did he do? He just revealed the whole cabal. Disney, Robertson, everything. I give you the Truman Show, and I give you Truman saying, because I said it's modeled after me, I'll take a bow. Have a great day. Tomorrow, yeah, have a great day. We're taking you down. We're finishing this, and we're freeing the kids. And those that covered you were the ones that were supposed to protect us, the alphabet boys. Their job was to protect the children. Sorry, a little passionate about that. And also protect the writers. But they saw there was much more fame and fortune and money to be made, billions, off of one writer. So why not work for the bad guys? The alphabet boys in the best position to profit off it because they're supposed to be the guards. They're supposed to be those that protect. So what if those that protect exploit the ones they're supposed to protect? Make a fortune. I give you the alphabet boys. I give you Disney. I give you Pat Robertson. And I give you rotten legacies, Mr. Eisner. You're going to have rotten legacies. And now they're all concerned about their legacies. The game is over. They're right. And that's the Disney contact on tape saying, you've won the chess game, Tom. You've won. And they're saying about the constituency, they're afraid of your power. And now I understand what that means. That means go after their weakest link, expose everything. And that's why I'm holding up David Geyertson, Robertson's PR man. Why is Pat Robertson the weakest link in the cabal? Because his philosophy when he was grooming me is this: if I go down, they go down. The perfect head of the snake, the perfect weak link. That means you reveal him. Who shares that Pat Robertson mentality? If I go down, they go down. I give you Julia Zarco, my sister, in the employ of Brian Fitzpatrick, who she's already confessed is gay. The lifelong operative from Hollywood, California, FBI lifelong, who's also our congressman for Pennsylvania, who gives her black tie dinners and everything else. You've got all these people about power and success who say, if they go down, the cabal goes down. That's how you change a world. Write something that captures the imagination. And the Zionist Manifesto says it. Their only fear is an individual. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying this is what they say. An individual that writes something that catches the attention of the world, changes the way they think. That's what they fear most, because they could run for president. They could do everything. Isn't it funny that the insiders from Hollywood are saying, if I make a deal, they want me to run for president. I kid you not. They want to put billboards up. Their strategy is put billboards up, the real author of The Matrix, the guy who lasted all, and then they cleanse their part out of the real life story. They say is worth a fortune. They get goosebumps over. They say, that's their strategy now, to come and say, we made you who you are today. Be grateful. And now we got a deal for you. My sons are dead.
Yeah, such gaslighting. Such gaslighting.
That
really.
makes sense. Did that all make sense? Not a rant, not meant to be a rant. It's meant to be an entertaining, let's tie it all together. Did it make sense?
Absolutely. Wow. That's incredible. And I just love the way, and as you say, you know, who do they think they're kidding with here? You are, after all, the author of The Matrix. So it's just a matter, you know, you're outwitting them all the time, which is amazing.
That's the thing. If you think in layers, it's like a beautiful mind. That's why they're trying to say crazy all the time. But no, it's not crazy. If you think in layers, you can see it all at once. That's intelligence. That's gifted genius. That's not crazy. And gifted genius doesn't mean you're crazy. You know, no, I can put my senses together, and I have a heart, and I raised my son. He's amazing and love life. You know, we just can think in layers. We can think and create material they can. So they're jealous. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's so important for them to keep you alive, actually, and to try and keep you under their thumb. Because, I mean, if you think about the amount of money that they've made off of your movies, off of your brain, off of your genius, it is absolutely horrific to think how they've exploited you. But you know, Tom, what is really good for me to know, and as you know, I know you out there on a lot of other platforms at the moment as well, and I'm so grateful for that, because I think it's so important that people will know what this is about. More and more of these incredible stories are being revealed, you know, of how these guys manipulate, the lies, the deception, the bullshit, the stealing. They steal. They're just a bunch of thieves. The way they've taken ancient stuff, someone else's stuff, and completely corrupted it, inverted it, and used their own limited mind to try and create that or recreate that which they really can't. So they think they're so smart. But at the end of the day, Tom, you've created it. You're revealing it. The world's getting to know who you are and what you've done. And I have no doubt it really is honestly a matter of time before you get all the acclamation that is rightfully yours. And I look forward to that. And
thank you. It's going to be shared with everybody. My plan is when we win this thing, we will. Fraud has no statute. They know we got them. Their attorneys are already crying and screaming about they could go to jail. Yes, you can. I don't feel sorry for you. Yes, you can. You deserve to. But the thing is, especially for my sons, but the thing is, they're the ones that groomed me. They're the ones that selected me. So Pat Robertson, the rest of them, and the FBI gave me a card. Please extend every courtesy to Tom Althouse while Pat Robertson's groomed me. So they selected me to lead. They wanted me to be the face of the Christian Coalition. I'm supposed to be up for president. That's what they were planning. So what they do instead, if they have us, if we don't come through and do what they want, they put Biden in as president because they want to put him in on purpose where he can't form sentences. And so that's what they want to do. If they don't get their way, then they're going to punish the public. You know, it's basically what they do. So I was supposed to be the one that was leading this country. I don't care if I'm not. But the thing is, that's what they were grooming me to be. First, face the Christian Coalition, Robertson's #1 guy in his sex ring. And then I become, in that platform, President Tom.
President.
And that's one of the reasons they put all this stuff in there, you know, and then that's why they said I'm the evil one. If I'm revealing what they're guilty of, then they have to say, they have to recast me. He's the evil one. Yeah, I was being groomed to be the evil one in the evil organizations altogether. But I said, no, I'm going to do good. And you end up with what? The good place. Everything's inverted. Everything's inverted. The blue eye was the blue pill. The blue is good in the original screenplay. They make it the red pill, which I was warning was the bad pill. Everything's inverted. Everything's inverted. And so what's going to happen is a great world's coming where those of us that are actually worth our salts will lead. We'll lead. And it's not based on arrogance. We don't do it for our ego. In fact, I'll gladly let somebody else lead. I'd love to have just a peaceful life with my son, meet a woman, a wife who's not approached and reprogrammed or provided, that actually is a good person and not approached by Robertson's people and FBI after she gets with me and told, don't go with him, he's evil, by all these different guys that are players, that are low-level players. I'd rather have just a nice life. I'll take it. I'll take that. I don't need to lead. I don't need the ego stroked. I am thrilled with just my own things that came through my mind for my work. I could sit in an empty cell and still be entertained by all the things that came through. But I want to share that with the world. I want the world to be lifted. I want art to lift. I want every man, woman, and child to own my work too. When I win, I'm going to share the copyright with everybody. I want them to be able to create offshoots of it. If it changed the world, go at it and I'll celebrate with you and I'll come to your viewings too. And I'm not going to say, I'm going to take you to court. No, I'm going to say like, well done. Let's keep creating. That's my goal. Let's open it up. I'm not, and that they're so threatened by that. They say, paranoid schizophrenic, dangerous, bipolar 1 and 2 now, mass murderer. No. You guys, maybe you're the guys writing the suicide notes. I'm writing more material and you guys know I have it, right? Talking to Disney and them. They actually said on the contact set on the tape, how do we know you have these other screenplays? I got 15 more. What do you think I've been doing since 1993? I got so many that are better. How do you know they're better? Because our first one was 1993. That was the Matrix story, Immortals, where they reverse the letters around, the Immortals. That was my first one. You think the other ones aren't better? So yeah. Oh, we got them. And a better world is coming. A better world's coming. I survived the gauntlet and other truthers too. Yes, we're all going to make it. And now in the truth community, some things are going like, Tom thinks he's the only one. Hey, why is it Tom's story? There's lots of stories. Sure, there's lots of stories. But the one that Hollywood and all the contingency of Robertson, the FBI, and every one of them got greedy on was my material that came through me. So that is the case. Let's just agree to agree that that is what was worth billions. Yes, everybody has legitimate stories. Yes, other people are survivors. It's not an ego trip. It's just that we have a focal point to take them down. If they're so concerned about the theft of the billions and billions, and this breaks them, let's use me as the ramming rod. And then let's all tell our stories. That's the thing. They want the division and the confusion, and they want competition on who gets the most attention. I'm not about that. Let's use what works. If I'm the tool that works, and my material right there, the Immortals works, and they all got greedy on, they all got invested in it, they all took from it. Use that as your tool to open up for all of your stories. Use me as the tool. If I was groomed on the inside,
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, is that they're trying to divide all that attention by having a squabble over who gets more attention. It's not about that. It's about what works. Use it. Yeah, the Immortals
what I see happening now for them is like more and more, I'll use the analogy of little fires starting, and they're trying to put out fires all over, and it's not working. So they're trying to shut people up. They're trying to get desperate. They're doing what they're doing. They're just, and at this point, it's really soon just going to be a bushfire.
Yes.
For us, they're not going to know what to do. That's the point I'm making. So I think it's time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mm.
Watch the main media. Watch the main media. Who gets the attention? Rose McGowan. Did Rose McGowan get a lot of major network attention? A lot of major network attention. A lot of viewing of her viewpoint? False flag. False. That's false. There's a flag there. False. Nobody who they are afraid of is going to get their own owned media conglomerate attention. They're not going to do that.
Exactly. Mainstream media, the minute it's been pushed by the mainstream media,
is their people.
Run away.
That's their people. Yeah. Sophia Stewart. Did Sophia Stewart get a lot of mainstream, a lot of attention? Did she get a lot of attention? She's their player. Keanu Reeves, a lot of grooming? Player. That's what's going on. They even say it. They even do this thing in Tropic Thunder where they parody Joel Silver, my favorite boy, Joel Silver. And I say that, of course, nah. And they show who he is, and he's like, player, here's your jet, here's this. And he's like, I'm going to F you up. I'm going to take you down. Well, why is Joel Silver so afraid of me that he keeps leaving his positions at Alder Carbon, runs away, scared little Joel Silver boy who keeps a magnet in his desk and threatens that he's the most powerful guy and most hated man in Hollywood? Why does he run away when I come forward, even with an attorney who has a suspended license throwing my case? And he still has severed his relationship in 2012, the same time Mike Lang ran for the hills. Oh, and Rose McGowan, Mike Lang, Mikelang, was involved in the sexual things that women who actually got hurt were involved in. Okay, Rose McGowan, paying attention? Mike Lang, hard name to remember. Mike Lang. Can you say it? You can't? Why? Why, Rose? Rose, why can't you say it? Well, won't get money and rewards? What? But I thought you were championing the women. You don't care about the women? Whoa, well, there's a confession. Wait, what? It's just another job? Just another job? You're representing all the women in the world that have been hurt by these actual things. Casting couch isn't that bad. What gave you your career? Well, why didn't you say something? I know you're a big star. I know you made a lot of money. Okay, anyway, take it. Dialogues with.
I love it, Tom. I love it. I love your acting background too. It's awesome.
They hate this. They hate this. It's like, you know, what was that movie where they go, they hate this with what's the, I forget what it's name. Yeah. I just love it. They hate clever. They really do hate clever. And it's like they don't like it. So yeah. They'd be sitting there like this right now. Tom's performance was so bad. Oh my God, and that's what they did with the guys on Maui and these other people. It's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm having fun. Let's get them down. Let's get them down. Let's reveal them. Poor Rose.
Playing the best role of your life. That's you, Tom. Awesome. I'll do to that. Cheers. That's my purple water.
Chink. It's going to be fun. The after party is going to be a lot of fun. This is the party right now. The after party is going to be great. And wait to see what happens. And Elon Musk is going to reveal more and more. That's my tech, Elon. That's my tech. Yeah, Neuralink. You don't even understand it. He gets on the air and drools and babbles about it. He doesn't even understand what it means. You know, the Neuralink goes in the back of the neck and has something to do with. It has something to do with brains connecting. Yeah, that's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is this. He was on the set with a Chinese guy they brought in to look like he was dumb. And he's discussing what the future holds and Neuralink and things like this. And he's like, the Chinese guy actually did better, even though the guy they had sponsoring it or talking as a spokesperson to mediate it was picking on the guy totally. And Elon Musk is all he can do is like, it's like, no brain cells. They keep picking D players to take the lead. And then they groom them to death. Look at Snowden. Snowden has music in the background when he's talking from, he's not in danger. And he didn't tell us anything. The FBI, the CIA tap our phones. They tap our phones. I'll be safe. I gotta run now and be safe. And then there's music playing in the background, like, oh, here is Snowden. And it's like they show these scenes and expensive. It must have cost a fortune to make his little tape revealing stuff. And it's like, they tap our phones. They show phones being tapped and people wiring things and things like this. And it's like, oh, Snowden. Listen to the name, Snowden. Come on, guys, give it up. Snowden's a clown. Snowden's a clown. He's not in danger. He's getting this major release. It's like these are just, oh my God. Anyway, yeah, I love it. And it's going to be a better world. Folks, it's going to be a better world, a much better world. And you got all this talent out there, and we're going to just form studios, and we're going to create great work, and your children will be safe and freed, and the FBI will be dismantled because they are not an organization. What is they saying now? What are they saying now? They're saying that we only go after those that go after us. Let that sink in. So we have a international security service for this country to protect it. And they are claiming we only go after those that go after us. Now, this is the agency talking, not the US. The agency saying we only go after those that go after us. Now, picture a bodyguard. Okay, Morné, you got a bodyguard, right? You're famous. You're amazing. You guys are both amazing. Morné's out there rocking the denim, and some guy comes up and is like, starts to poke and push him around. Morné, hey, we don't like you, man. We don't like you. And their security force for Morné goes, sorry, Morné, we only go after those who go after us. You're on your own, but pay us our paycheck next week. Does it make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to hire those guys, keep them off it? You're going to keep using those guys? Yeah, you're going to can their butts. You're going to can their butts. You're fired. And I'm saying the FBI right now, guys, you were fired. You put a lifelong FBI operative as a congressman who disrupted the Ukraine to prepare it for the Russia's thing, the Russia show. You sent him there. You sent him there. I mean, can I share screen one thing? Just put it up there for you guys one more time.
Yeah, I think I've let me just double check. Yeah, you have got screen, so you can still share.
Let's just do this. I love this. Let's go and reveal this man. First of all, it was my mom that actually pointed it out. Tell me this guy doesn't look like a certain character that was actually put in jail for certain activities with children. A certain actor. I give you Pee Wee Herman, congressman and FBI operative. Basically Pee Wee Herman. I'm going to say it. Wow. This guy, and listen to this. Robertson's sex ring, right? This is what he sounds like on the phone when he calls for donations. And I kid you not, I'm going to do his voice. I think I'm getting it down pretty well now. This is the man who has my sister in the pocket and was there to disrupt the internal workings of Ukraine before it happened. The FBI is not supposed to go on foreign soil. This is a cover article. We call cover article, local news, to cover up his wrongdoing. So they're saying that he has an international corruption unit, anti-corruption bureau. What is an anti-corruption bureau? Anyway, the thing is that they went to destroy Shokin. Shokin is the equivalent of the attorney general in Ukraine. So they destroy the legal system of Ukraine because why? He's not pushing for reforms fast enough. And they even said this. What was a beautiful thing? They warned Ukrainian officials. This is Fitzpatrick, has my sister in the pocket. Black tie dinners, helicopter circling. Warned Ukrainian officials that they would not receive $1 billion in loan guarantees unless Shokin was removed. Really? So this idiot goes to Ukraine to remove a wonderful man who's handling all this stuff, but he's not working fast enough for the FBI. What's the FBI doing on foreign soil? And what's happening? Ukraine is being destabilized for the game they're going to play with us poor Ukrainian people by this clown. And this is his voice. I kid you not. This is his voice on the answering machines we have for the documentary, right? He calls up for more donations. Listen to, watch the man's face and watch the voice. Listen to the voice. Hi, this is Brian Fitzpatrick. I'd like to see if you give to my campaign. We'll be having a town meeting tonight. And if you'd like to join us, we'd be just tickled if you give to our campaign and join us tonight for the big town hall meeting. It's coming up tonight, November 13th, 2014. We'll see you there. Can you get any more? And what does my sister say after she gets all rewards, saying that Secret Service is going to get you, Tom? He's really pissed at you. She says he's gay. He's not even married. And he doesn't like the question. My mom went to a garden party where he was there speaking. And then one lady said, why aren't you married? You're a good looking Pee Wee Herman. But she says, oh, no, next question. He doesn't want to talk about that. He doesn't want to talk about that. No. They made it easy for us. They made it easy. When they made the Truman Show and cast me for it, they made it easy.
Yeah.
They made it easy. And what happens at the end of the Truman Show? In the end of the Truman Show, takes a bow. We got him. So now it's on the inside. We're going to win. Anyway, go ahead. I know I talked a lot today.
Exactly.
It's a platform, but yeah.
I know it's been very entertaining. You've had me in giggles here. So I think our audience enjoyed the chuckle as well.
Yay.
But Tom, as always, it's been delightful to have you. Thank you so much. Look forward to having you back again in 2 weeks' time. We have no doubt that we will be decoding even more Hollywood shenanigans and more about the Alphabet Boys.
Every
Can't
day.
wait. This is like my TV. This is
Every
my
day.
TV. I don't have TV, so
Yeah.
I like to hear about the Alphabet Boys and their shenanigans.
Let's do it. I would love to do that. I would love to do that because every day we're getting more and more. What's happening now is the insiders are coming my way. They gave them, like, you know, the honeypot wife. Real quick, the book she had was the Druid's Handbook, How to Influence Men and Get Them to Do What You Want, and the other publication was 48 Ways of Power, I think it was, which is all about picking the throne that wins. That was her reading material they gave her. Listen, if you do a honeypot wife, don't give her the materials to take into the home of the person you're targeting as the honeypot wife. He's going to see the materials and see, well, look at her library. How to Influence Men and Get Them to Do What You Want. Honey, Druid's Handbook, sweetheart. Wait, 48 Ways of Power, pick the big throne, destroy the other guy. What, sweetheart? Yeah. Your library looks a little scary. Anyway, thanks for having me. Have a pleasant day. Yeah.
Thank you.
That'll be a sign for anyone who, if you suspect you might have a honeypot, you get a manual on how to do things.
Look at their library. Look at their downloads. Yeah. And you notice my cup switched. So that's a definite sign to those that are looking for those major clues about who's false and who's real. Look at that cup. And what's the meaning? Failure's not an option to this dark cup. No wonder they named the evil one. Keep sleuthing, people. All right, yeah. So anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah, just stay connected. That's all. Tom, thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you back again.
Well, I really appreciate your time having me on here. Thank you. That's insane. I mean, look for the real. I know. Look for the real evidence. Go for the real evidence. Stop looking for these little itty bitty things that try to be clever. And I know you got a smart audience. I love them. And I wish I remembered the line for the Truman Show. I'd use it right now. But you guys rock. Thank you so much. You are the best.
You rock.
Thank you, Gav. It's so fun having you. Okay, guys. God bless you all. If you haven't already, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. Yeah. On Aquarius Rising Africa. Find us on Solutions with Aquarius Rising Africa as well. Take good care of yourselves. Stay cool, stay kind, stay connected. And God bless you all.